What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Mike Lee's Life Hacks. Today I'm going to be creating a apple/wine cellar underneath my staircase. So let me give you guys a little bit of a glimpse of what's going on here. So have this empty space right here. You can see that my staircase goes there. And I have this whole space available right here. So the plan is to blow out this wall. I've already started the deconstruction on the other side. I'm going to put in a round wood door there with glass in it, and then possibly put in a couple of window panes on the side of the door so you can actually see. I'll have lights going down with a rack with bottles in it, so it'll look really cool. This is inside of my library here at home. So let's take a look on the inside. Now the inside on this particular staircase is actually finished, which is kind of unusual. But you can see the staircase runs from over here, runs all the way underneath the landing, and then they have actually an opening here. You may or may not have an opening there. It's not a problem if you don't. You just have to decide if there's any kind of structural beams or anything that is going to hinder you from making an opening there. But I'm sure you can support around it. So let's go inside the little cubby and see what's going on in here. You can see it's finished. They put drywall all the way around. I just ripped out that wall there. So I can see there's a couple of support beams. What I'm going to do with those beams is I'm just going to move them over. I'll move this one that way, all the way against that other one to make a double header. Or I'm sorry, double support. And then this one, I'll move it over here. That way I have that whole middle section available. I'm also going to be tearing out this wall to see what's going on behind it. Because I might want to extend the cellar back into that cubby because I don't think it's being used right now. So the first step is drywall removal. I got the inside done. I wanted to open up that first to make sure that there wasn't anything structurally hindering me from creating that opening on the outside. If I would have started on the outside, I may have a big mess that I have to fix because maybe I wouldn't have been able to do what I wanted to do. So start with the inside if you can. If you don't have an opening, you're going to just have to brave it. Drywall is pretty easy to fix anyway. So let me go ahead and knock this drywall out on both sides, and then we'll go from there. All right, so I opened up the inside. Now you can see right here. The inside, this drywall actually goes all the way up to here. So I kind of ran into this part right here. So from the outside now, I'm just going to cut straight across this bottom line. Actually, probably what I'll do is I'll actually make it a little bit lower. No, I'll just go ahead and cut it across because I think I'm going to drywall all the way up to here anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and start cutting the outside. I'm going to get all of this cut out. I'm going to cut all the way down. Come over here. Cut from that wall all the way down. First I'm going to remove this baseboard so I can splice it back after I fix it. I'll just remove this entire section. I can always go back and drywall it later. Alright, just in case you've never cut drywall before, this is a really great tool. It's called a keyhole saw. I find the board on the inside, it's just going to be my guideline so I get a nice straight line. So it's very simple. I'll show you how to do it. I've already started this. I know there's a stud right here. So if you tap it into the wall, if you feel it hitting something, it's probably hitting the drywall. Just come away from it a little bit. I'm going to go at an angle towards the drywall or the stud on the inside. forth. Hitting something there. Just take it all the way down. That's pretty much how you do that. Okay, so I'm on the inside. You can see I've cut all the way around. The next thing I'm doing to save on dust and a lot of cleanup, I'm going to try to pop this all off in one big square. So I got my son on the other side, and he's going to catch it. Go ahead and over there. You ready? Yup. Just like that, YouTube. Shaka brah. All right, for this next step, we're going to be removing these. They're hammered into the bottom plate and the top plate. It would be nice if I had a really big sledgehammer. I can't find mine. You could use a regular framing hammer. It can get a little tough. You need something with a little bit of weight. So I'm actually going to use the back side of this axe head. Give me something to hold on to, something to swing. We're just going to try to drive the bottom through.
Solid.
So let's give it a whirl. Wow, the whole plate's moving. Let's try the top plate. Okay, we got that baby moving.
Gone. Just like that.
Let's work on the top plate on this one. Yay! Hey! Ah! Hey! That's how you do that.
No problem.
I ripped out this from my wine cellar. I wanted to check out this wall underneath to see if I can extend the wine cellar under here. I ran into plywood. Can you see that? So that's a no-go. So this is a quick tutorial on patching the drywall. I use the same piece that I took out. That's it right there. All right, so I'm gonna fit it back in that way. Keep it like that. I'm gonna use a 2x4 that I broke off of here. Normally you can use like a 1x, even get some shims from the store. I'm gonna use the same drywall screws I used there. Stick this board inside there about center. And then all I'm gonna do is screw it in. Pound one in the top. Make sure you have a little bit of space between here. The 2x4 probably goes up here, which is plenty of support. If you had it really close and you did it tight, you could bust through the drywall. So the bottom, same thing. Boom. That 2x4 ain't going nowhere. Then you take your same piece, fit it back in. Couple of screws in. Boom. Boom. And one more. Boom. Take some drywall tape, mud, go right over this. You won't even know what happened. Please smash that subscribe button. Mike Lee's Life Hacks. Out. What's up, YouTube? All right, today I'm going to be framing in the wall and the doorway for the wine cellar. All right, so first what you need to do is get some good measurements. Get yourself a nice diagram, draw it out exactly what you want it to look like, put all the measurements on there. So when you do all your cutting, which what I'm going to be doing today, all your measurements are right on. So this is kind of a little look at the schematic that I've drawn for my particular project. I have all the dimensions on there, inside and outside, so I know exactly what I'm going to be cutting, so I don't have to keep going in, measuring, coming out, cutting. I got all my measurements. I'm going to do all my cutting today. In fact, I'm going to start off by cutting my framing 2x4s today. This was for the upright frames. So remember when you're cutting, I got a laser line on here, which makes it nice. But you have your waist side and your good side. Make sure the blade is on the waist side of your line, wherever your line is. Okay? So I have my line scribed in here. I marked off 3 feet exactly. And then yeah, I do have goggles, but oh well. Alright. Got my 2 pieces already for my side frames. These things should line up exactly right because my measurements are dead on. Okay, so anyway, that's cutting. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the frame out. I'm gonna show you how I'm developing the arch because I'm building an arch door. I'll show you how I do that. All right, what I'm doing now, I just use this 2x10. I've actually created an arch. It's kind of like a boomerang, but I'm going to be doing some sanding on this. I had to freehand cut it with a jigsaw. It's not the greatest looking thing right now. I don't know if I'm totally happy with it, but I'm going to sand it down right now. I'm going to put it inside this clamp, and I'm going to start sanding on this bad boy. What's up, YouTube? All right, now I tried cutting this radius out for the top of my arch door. It came out like crap. I used a jigsaw. I scribed a line by freehand. It just looks like crap. So I created a jig for my router. I'm going to router out a perfect arch. I'm using a string here that I have a radius. I created the radius that goes exactly from the inside bit on my line all the way there for a 2-foot perfect arch. So I'm just using this as a radius. I have a string attached to my router. I'm going to zip a straight line all the way across to get a beautiful arched line. Here we go. Okay, so you need to set your bit a little depth and then add a little bit more each time so you have a good run. Here's the second pass through. I only went through probably 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch the first time just to see if the arch worked. Now I'm going to go down deeper, probably 1/2 inch. I'm going to go a little bit deeper even yet. All right, you can see the depth on that baby. It's almost all the way through. I think I'm just going to have to flip this board over. You can see it's a nice symmetrical arch. And I think that's going to work. Always remember, wear your safety goggles. Peace out. God bless America. I'll show you the framing after I get this baby done. I'll have it on the frame, getting ready to install. All right, YouTube. Just finished framing my arched doorway for my wine cellar. You can see the most difficult part was by far this arch here. It took me a while to make that baby. I used a router and tied a string to it and created a radius. And then at the very end, I just took a jigsaw and finished it off, sanded it off. Next, what I'll do is, I haven't attached this yet. I'm going to remove the arch. I'm going to go create that as a door template, so the door is the exact same radius, so I did not attach that. I'm going to take it off right now. In fact, I had just had it in there so I could fit it. I'm going to go take the door radius, and then boom. Stay tuned. Welcome to Mike Lee's Life Hacks. Hey, remember, if you like this video today, please hit the subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and so you can receive some of my good content I'm putting out for home improvement. I'm a DIYer just like you are, so I have a lot of good ideas, things that I do around the house, things how to fix cars, how to fix things around the house. Doorway, I'll show you that here. Okay, today I got my glass in yesterday. I've installed these pieces. Today I'm going to show you how to put the glass in there. Okay, by the way, I welded this piece here. This is a grate for the door. Pretty simple. I just routed out little notches for those to sit down so it's flush. And so when I put the glass in, it just sits right on top of it, doesn't even touch it. All right, so stay tuned. Here we go. First things first, all you're gonna need today is a tube of 100% silicone. 100% clear silicone. This is how the professionals do it. I talked to the lady at the glass store. She said 100% silicone, clear. And make sure if you have any drippage, not to try to wipe it because glass is porous. She said if you try to wipe it, then it's never going to come out. She said let it dry as a clump, then go in with the razor blade and just cut it out. So that's a really good tip. All right, so I just have a rag and my caulking gun and my silicone. All right, so let's just show you how to do it here. First thing is you lay yourself a nice healthy bead of caulking. I'm going to go ahead and caulk these in so they don't rattle around in there when the door closes. So go ahead and put yourself some caulking in there, just fill them up. Should have actually pre-fit this, but I'm pretty sure it's going to fit just the way it is. The glass place did a really good job of just kind of press it down a little bit. If there's any excess on the wood, I'm going to go ahead and wipe that off right now. So far so good. I'm just going to kind of press it down a little bit. I can see the silicone smearing a little bit. If I get it early enough, I'm sure. That's it. There you have it. Let it sit, and afterwards I'll take a razor blade. I'll just go on the inside edge, cut out all that extra silicone, and then I'm going to finish it off with a nice little quarter round. Here's a quarter round here, and I stained it to match. By the way, I used pine wood, and I use this Varathane gel stain. This stuff is super easy to work with. I just put it on with a sponge brush, and you put it on thick. You take a rag and then you wipe it off to the color that you want. If you want it lighter, you just keep wiping until a lot of it comes off. If you want it darker, you leave a little bit more on. There's lots of videos on YouTube on how to apply gel stain. So if you like this video, please subscribe, hit the like button, turn on your notifications. Peace out and God bless America. Hey, all right, so I'm at the final stages here. I've got the hardware installed. Door goes just like that. Actually used a gate latch here for an outdoor gate. It actually goes through to the inside, so it screws both ways, but I don't need that to work that way, so I just took out the middle part, bolted this to the outside, and then just bolted the extra handle on the inside here. I got the hinges. These are also gate. This is also gate hinges. And then I have everything fit in right now. Now I need to bolt it to the structure. So to do that, I'm going to have a small drill bit. Just barely skinnier than the length of the bolt. Because I want to be able to have some teeth to it. I'm going to put one in the top. This is all going to be covered here. So I'm going to put one in the top. And then I'm going to put one towards the bottom. Okay. After I drill, I'm going to countersink it. I'm going to pop these 3-inch T25 screws in. I highly recommend a T25. Star head grips so much better, especially when dealing with 2x4s and 3-inch. And then I have some dark wood filler. So after I put the holes, I'll countersink it, put the screws in, just put a little bit of putty in there. It'll kind of blend right in. If it doesn't, I'll go back over with the gel stain. All right, so let's go ahead and get started, get some holes going here. These are going to be at a slight angle. That's weird. Must be hitting a... I have the clutch pulled in. Okay, I got that one. That one. Got that one. You just countersink it so it barely fits above, just fatter than the head. So maybe it doesn't like this impact drill. Let me try the regular drill. Okay, that's good enough there. Good enough there. Good enough there. And good enough there. All right, let's get the screws going here. I like to use this head that slides, but once you get it on, it actually locks down to the screw. It holds it for you. It's really nice. Make sure you're lining up with your 2x4s. Okay, nice and countersunk there. Pull that head out a little bit. Okay, just a little bit tighter than that. Okay. Go ahead and zip this baby in. Okay, that wall's pretty good. Get this side. Boom. just like that. That wall is not going anywhere. Got my wine door. Want a bottle? Just pull it out. By the way, this is the FRE non-alcoholic wine. Online, you'd pay $14 to $18 a bottle. Stater Brothers, if you buy 4, you get it for like $6.50, $6.99. Well worth it. Boom, just like that. There you have it. If you like this video, please subscribe, hit your notification button. I have a lot of good videos coming out on stuff that you can do during this COVID outbreak. It's a pandemic. You got time on your hands, might as well do some cool projects around the house. I've done several cool projects. You can see one of them is I created that beam there. It's a 14-foot beam. I've installed that myself. I've done some work in the kitchen. I've done 3 wood beams. I did a wood light. I'll show you that right now. Okay, this wood light, I built a wood beam there. Hooked up the electrical, just connected it to this switch over here, and then I'm in business. You can see that beam right there. These are tough corners that I had to hit. Goes all the way across over there. Okay, gives it a real rustic look. I did build the fireplace, also the wood wall. Did that myself. I built this barn door. This barn door is so cheap. You can get it for like, you probably do that for $30 worth of wood. The hardware itself was a little bit more expensive, but dirt cheap. I've seen people selling these things for 500 bucks online. That's ridiculous. Build it yourself. Really easy. If you want to know how, hit me up in the comments and I'll show you. It's really simple. I'll show you this door that I just did. Okay. That door probably cost me 30, 40 bucks in wood. Once again, the hardware was more expensive, but this type of door costs you 700 bucks, 800 bucks if you try to buy it online, even more. So if you like my videos, please subscribe, hit your notification button. Peace out, and God bless America. All right, welcome to Mike Lee's Life Hacks. If you like my video, please hit the subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and comment below if you like to see anything different or if you got a project that you need help with. Today we're going to be installing 1/4 inch Hardiebacker, or otherwise known as cement board. This is typically used on a backsplash. I got a little bit of rock that I'm going to be putting around the wine cellar. If you haven't seen that video, go ahead and check it out on my channel. We're going to explore a couple of options here on cutting this Hardiebacker. First one is razor blade method. We're going to see if you can actually just use a razor blade, score, and snap. We'll see if it's that easy. First thing you're going to want to do is get yourself a nice sharp razor. So I opened up my razor and we're going to give that a method here. I'm thinking it should work because there's score lines in the Hardiebacker already. If so, we're off real easy. No mess, no dust flying everywhere. Razor blade, method number 1. Method number 2. Get yourself a mason blade on your angle grinder. Boom. Warning, warning, warning. It does get a little messy. Dust starts flying everywhere. You're going to need some goggles on this. Maybe even a mask. You probably got one from COVID anyway. Just throw that baby on. All right. So for my project today, I need a 5.5 inch strip. You can see here, let me see if I can zoom it in. Sorry. Each of these squares are 1 inch. You can see that it's slightly just under, but if you cut on the right side of the inches that you need, that's going to be the blade width, and it's going to give you that perfect number. So 1 inch would be right on that crack, 2 inches would be right on that crack, 3 inches on that crack, 4 inches on that crack. So if we actually cut in those cracks, we will get an exact inch intervals. All right, so I need 5.5 inches. So I'm going to measure 5.5, which actually puts me right in the middle of the board, which kind of sucks. So let's go ahead and try method number 1. If you don't have these T-squares, get yourself one. They make life so easy. All you gotta do, edge it up nice and straight here. Put the edge right in the line. I'm gonna slide this back a little bit. I'm using my table saw as my board. Okay. Make sure it's there. Press down on it. Put some downward pressure. Let's give this a whirl here. I'm going to just start from here. Always pull towards you. Move your hand, slide with it. Ah, shoot, went a little crooked there. Okay. All right, I got a scored line there. Get this out of the way. Now, if it works just like drywall, all I have to do is bend it down and snap it. Grab it somewhere in the middle, give it a quick, sharp, bam! Nope, didn't work. Look where it broke, right there. It snapped almost right on one of those cracks, but not on my scored line. Wouldn't recommend razor blade. No good, no good. Okay? All right, method number 2. Whoa. Angle grinder. Get yourself goggles. You can use a guide. You can use a guide such as the T-square. However, it's not that hard to eyeball. I've already scored a line there. If I were going to use the angle grinder, I would just take a pencil and I would map out a line for myself. Now remember, I'm going to be putting some mud and some tile over this, or some rock in this case. So it doesn't have to be a super clean edge. It's going to get covered anyway. If you need a really clean edge, you need to go with a really straight option. All right. Make sure your thing is hanging off the edge of the table, otherwise you're going to grind right through your table. All right. The piece that I want is on this side with my hand down. What I've found is I will cut it, it will fall off, boom, crack in half. Same thing if you're doing tile. Let's give this a whirl here. Pretty clean edge. Really clean. I like it a lot. Didn't have any issues with that. All right. Way number 3 is just a hand Coyote skill saw. I'm just using a wood blade. I don't think you need anything special, but we're going to check it and see. You know, I don't think you really need a mason blade. It's only a 1/4 inch, so let's give it a whirl. For this is actually already cut exactly 5.5 inches, ironically. I did have to clean up this edge here, so let's go ahead and clean that up. You will have to pull the guide up here. Pull the guide up so it can fit right next to it. Wow, that was really easy. A little dusty, but this thing actually cut it like butter. All right, actually, I'm thinking I like this a little bit more than I did the angle grinder. So I'll check out the next cut, which will be the jigsaw. All right, the last method. Ryobi saw. I'm going to put the setting on thick, heavy wood. That way it goes faster. I'm probably going to need it. And the blade that I'm using, you can see it's a rip wood blade. I don't think I'm going to have any issues getting through that Hardiebacker with this. So I got the speed on it cranked all the way up because I don't want to have any hesitation in this baby. So, for this one, I am actually going to be cutting an angle here because my staircase goes down. So I've already scrolled the line that I need to follow. Wow, that was super simple. You can see it cut a really nice line. I actually like that one even better. Actually, there was hardly any dust on that. So I'm gonna go ahead and rip this long edge with it as well, because I need my last cut, which is going right along this edge right here. I don't even need a measuring stick. I just stick the pencil in the groove and just drag it along. Once again, remember, after I cut this part's on the table. This part is going to fall. If I want to save it, I got to hold on to it. For me, I got to switch over to my left hand to get that cut done. All right, here we go. Boom. Like a G, baby. I'm going to have to say this is my choice. I wasn't expecting that. I thought, I love my angle grinder. I cut everything with it, from metal to plastic to wood. I like the Jigsaw on the Hardiebacker. I was a little off of here when I switched over to my left hand, so I'm going to go ahead and clean that edge up right now. Boom. Now we're going to go in. I'm going to show you how to install it. All right, just got done finished cutting this piece out. Let's see if it fits. Like a glove. what I'm going to use here is the 1 1/4 self-tapping drywall screws. That's all you need. You don't need any serious like anchor screws that go into concrete, anything like that. These things go right in like butter. All right, you just have to push a little bit harder at the beginning to get them started. And then you're in like Flynn. All right, here you go. Boom. Boom. Remember, those go straight into the drywall, and you put enough of them, you won't have any issue. Anyway, that's all it's done. If you like the video, subscribe, hit the notification button. The next part of this video will be me putting the rock over this wall to finish out this new wine cellar that I built. If you like it, thumbs up. Peace out. God bless. All right, so I've already got my mix. Let's go in and see how I prepared the work site. Okay, so here's my project that I'm working on today. I'm going to be rocking this whole wall over here, around the door, and then a little bit down the side and across the front. So I prepared all my materials here. I have all the stone laid out so I can see the shapes. I have some of the tiles here that I'm going to be putting around the edge. Okay, I'm going to start with that today, but I have them all cut in strips already. And then I have this side here. I have some stone here that I'll be laying out. Let's show you the workout space here that I'm going to be cutting. You got to make sure you set yourself up with a good workstation. I'm using my ping pong table. I got a covering over it right now. You're going to need an angle grinder. Okay, a must. I like the metal bits. I feel like they don't, I don't burn through those like I do the black bits. You're going to need to get yourself a good scribe for scribing lines. And then you should always have a pencil in your pocket. All right. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the bottom row, and then I'll work from there. All right, so here we are. I like to put on gloves because I find that this mortar mix, when it lays on your skin for a while, it does cause a little bit of a burn, so to speak, on your skin. So I cover up because you're inevitably going to get some on your hands. If you wanted to take the extra time and cover your fireplace or whatever you're doing so you don't get any of the splatter, sometimes that splatter from the mortar mix is really hard to get off. But since this is gel stained, anything that won't come off by a sponge, I'll just go back over and touch it up with the gel stain. That stuff works great. If you haven't seen my gel stain video on how I made this door, check it out on my YouTube channel. By the way, if you like this video, please subscribe. Go ahead and turn on your notifications. Give me a thumbs up. Leave your comments below. So if there's anything you want to see different or a project that you need help on, let me know. I'll get back to you right away. All right. My favorite trowel. I can scoop it with the backside out of the bucket. I could slap it on and then I go ahead and install it. Okay, so let's take one of these chains here. These chains are kind of tricky. I'm just going to go ahead and spread some butter on it. Go ahead and butter it up. I like to use a nice liberal amount. Okay, nice liberal amount spread on here. And then I'm going to go ahead and stick it on. You will have excess. Any excess, just go ahead and wipe it off. Throw it back in your bucket. Okay, I'll do it my next piece. Same way. Just grab some butter. Scrape the edges. And then slap it on there. Like that. Wipe off any excess right away. This stuff comes off pretty good with water. I want to set it in place. I want to press it down into the wall without squeezing all of it out, so don't press too hard. Okay, got my first two pieces in place. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to put in some of the block now. So I'll turn the video this way. Okay. The rock is pretty simple. Find the piece that you want. I have this laid out right here. If there's a flat part of the rock, put it on the bottom. Okay. Spread some on. Focus all your butter towards the middle. Okay. Spread it on liberally, then I take it and I slope it off on the sides. Make sure you have full coverage. Something about like that. And go ahead and press it in. Realize you guys can't see that. Okay, got the first one in. I pressed it on. I just took my finger, kind of wiped off the excess. Now I'm doing what's called a dry stack. Afterwards, after I get everything in place, there is going to be gaps in between. It's whatever you prefer to do. But I'm going to go ahead and take a grout bag. I'm going to fill those in because I don't want the big gaps with this type of rock. If you have more of a linear rock, you could dry stack that up and you won't need to do that extra grouting activity. Okay. You want to have a variation of rock also. If I went skinny, let me go ahead and go with a more of a plump square one. Okay, about like that. I'm using a square one because I just used a skinny one. Set it in place, push it on. Okay, boom. It's just like a puzzle piece. That's why I lay them all out ahead of time, so I can kind of build this puzzle so I don't have giant gaps. I want to get the gaps as minimal as possible. So I'll go ahead and let those sit up here until I have a piece that I need to cut, and then I'll get back. All right, so I got the border all set in place. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish up this wall here. For this little section, I got this rock here. It is a little bit too long, so I'm going to scribe it. I'm going to put it in place where I want it. Like that. Make a little line. Kind of do a rough drawing all the way down straight. And then what we're going to do, all right, so I find my line, which is right there. I mean, this top part isn't level, but I can use this to scribe a line down approximately on the rough side. About like that. And then let's get to it. Remember, the part that I don't want is hanging off the edge, because when it falls, it might break. If you want to use the extra pieces, put down like a pillow or something soft for it to land on so it doesn't break. I know I have more than enough material for this project, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut. Flip it over because my blade's not long enough. There you have it. This stuff really does cut like butter. So if you had one of these that was a little bit longer to do one pass, that would be great. If not, I just cut down the sides on both ends to give me a line, flip it over, boom, connect the dots, and I'm in. Let's go see if it works. Okay, for the look that I'm going for, the cut edge, in theory, would be over here. But when you're walking over this way, you can see that edge. So I'm gonna flip it over because I like to have the natural look on that side. So let's go ahead and butter it up. I highly recommend putting more butter than you need. You can always wipe off excess. Make sure you have the ends buttered enough as well. Some people just kind of focus on the middle part. All right, about like that. All right, notice how I put it in place. I kind of wiggled it side to side and a little bit up and down. So on the back side of it, it squirts out and evens out the mortar on the back. Okay, the ones that I put down earlier, they're already dried and fixed. If you let it set up a little bit, if you don't like the alignment, like on the top part, you let it set up a little bit first. Make sure you don't wait too long, and then you won't be able to move it. Right now, these have set up. And now I'm able to lift them up a little bit because they were sagging. Okay, about like that. I don't want any sag. I use, for this type of tile, I can use a flat piece of board. Press it on there, and instead of having the tiles uneven, it actually flattens it out for me. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this wall, finish it out, and we'll see how it looks. All right, now you can see I finished doing all the rock. I did end up putting a support piece here because those rocks will have a tendency of sliding down. So if you're doing on top of an opening like that, I suggest putting a support beam just so they don't sag. You don't have to sit there and keep pushing them up. Just put a support beam, let it dry, and then when you take it off, it'll be solid as a rock. All right, last step for me is we're going to be adding some mortar to all the joints here. I got a lot of big holes. You can see the Hardiebacker underneath. So get yourself a grout bag, fill her up. By the way, this stuff, just slightly a little bit wetter than the peanut butter mix that we had earlier to put on the rock. Okay, just shove that stuff in there. Fill her up. Alright, that should be a good start. Shake it down. Now, I've never made a cake before, but this is pretty much the same idea. Okay, you can see, just fold the top, and then boom, starts coming out. Okay, I've seen cake decorators, they twist the top as they go. That way they don't have to constantly squeeze. Let's give it a whirl. Find the grout line that you want of the joint. And all right, so I've never done this before with the joints. I'm having a hard time squeezing it out, so it's going to have to get a little bit more water to it, so I'll be right back. All right, so after experimenting a little bit, I realized the tip was just too small. So I just took a razor blade, sliced it through, created a bigger opening, and I'm thinking it's going to look pretty good. And let's see here. Let's keep shoveling it in. I did add a little bit of water to it. Alright, that's good just to show you. Take it down, you can see it's already coming out. I'd say play with it, experiment with it. The peanut butter mix might have been good. I just didn't have a large enough opening. So let's go ahead and start decorating the cake here. Actually, I like that mix a lot. It goes in really nice. It doesn't run everywhere. All right, there you have it. For this particular project, I wanted to fill the joints in. You don't have to. If you want the dry look, it just happened with these type of rocks, there's a big gap. Anyway, that's my video. Hope you liked it. If you do, leave some comments down below. Please subscribe, and peace out, and God bless America.